Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Brew. You know the drill. We're back at it again with the Reddit stories. So let's jump into it, shall we? Sister-in-law revenge. My brother-in-law proposed to my husband's sister at our very formal wedding luncheon. I didn't find out until later because my sister, my hero, told them that if they didn't sit down and shut up, she'd break their teeth with a hammer. That did not stop my husband's grandmother from being so excited for her granddaughter that she tried to make the DJ announce it and play their song so they could dance alone to it. Yep, an all-alone engagement dance at someone else's wedding. My husband found out and shut that down immediately. Again, I had no idea. Fast forward to their wedding, and they had a DJ and a live band. During band breaks, the DJ played music. During dinner, our wedding song came on. It doesn't matter where we are, if that song comes on, we dance. So my husband pulled me up and we danced. His sister threw a 6-year-old worthy temper tantrum in front of God and everyone. My husband turned, looked at her, and said, "Gee, what could it possibly hurt to have a special moment here? After all, you got engaged during our wedding." I was in shock. Everyone in the room went silent. She sat down, and the DJ restarted the song from the beginning. We kept dancing. Oh man, the shiny spines in this story. I think I need my sunglasses. The sister telling the sister-in-law that she'd break their teeth with a hammer. Then OP's husband shutting his sister down twice, as well as the DJ restarting the song. It just makes my heart sing. I'm going to go ahead and assume that OP's husband's sister was the spoiled golden child that now feeds off attention as an adult. At least we can be grateful that OP's husband turned out well. Woman tried to get my 14 and 7-year-old sisters arrested for taking out the trash. This happened today while me, 20-year-old female, my mom, 39, and 2 sisters, 14 and 7, were cleaning out our yard. For context, we live in a smaller, older-looking house on a relatively gentrified street with a lot of small to medium-sized but high-end apartment buildings. It's still the same neighborhood, despite them being 3 to 5 story buildings with underground parking. We have 2 big metal dumpsters in the neighborhood, one at the start of the neighborhood and one near the end. We live in the middle of this neighborhood and the walk to the dumpsters is quite far. So my mom decided to just request a private bin from the government to place outside our own gate, as to not have to walk too much to throw away our trash when we're busy. We recently had to request a replacement, which will take a few days. So in the meantime, we had to take turns walking to the dumpster on either side to throw our trash away. It's never been a problem, and shouldn't be, because it's all of our taxes that pay for waste collection. My mom sent both of my sisters to throw away a bag of yard cuttings and stayed near the gate to keep an eye on them while I continued to clean the porch. A few minutes later, I can hear my mom start yelling, then running in the direction that my sisters went in. I nearly died thinking something horrible happened, so I followed her. My sisters were near the dumpster that was off to the side of the building, along with a woman who was full on screaming at them from her 2nd floor balcony, with her husband just watching from the sliding door. My mom is a bit of a hothead. When heated, she tends to make irrational decisions, and her English begins to slip up. English is her 2nd language, which makes it hard for her to get points across or understood. I usually take over for her in times like these, as I'm better at diffusing situations. So, as usual, I walk up and take over and tell her to calm down while I deal with the Karen. My mom has pulled back my sisters to the other side of the road, and I look up to look at the dumbass on the 2nd floor. "What are you going on about, ma'am? You can't throw your trash in there. I'm going to give you the fucking trash collection bill." "Ma'am, this is a public neighborhood dumpster." "Yes, and I pay to live in this neighborhood and for this trash collection. You can't throw your shit in there unless you pay for it to be picked up." At this point, I'm utterly confused on whether she was just stupid and didn't see the big fat government stamp painted on all sides of the dumpster. Ma'am, we live in this neighborhood too. She then makes the mistake of ignoring me and looks towards my sisters at the other side of the street and begins to yell her head off. Both of you take the trash you threw out of the dumpster. Now! Now! Or I'm calling the fucking police. My sisters are 7 and 14. She wanted to call the police on children, which immediately set my mom off again. I was quite irritated as well, to be honest. Shut up! I'm their mom. You talk to me? Or you haul your ass back into your apartment. Mom, go home. This lady is just absolutely screaming and pulls out her cell phone, repeating that she's going to call the police and make us pay for trash collection. I immediately lost my patience. Call them then. Get it over with. Call them and tell them that you want them to arrest a 14 and 7-year-old for throwing trash in the dumpster. The lady seemed taken back, but began directing this at me again. I'll have them lock you all up. You're polluting the neighborhood and dumping trash when you don't pay for the service. Take the trash out of the dumpster before I come break all your faces. You don't directly pay the waste company either. Call the police and tell them all of this. Do it before I do. That made the husband finally step in, and he pulled her back into the apartment while she was still screaming. He came outside by himself while we heard crashing and slamming inside the apartment. You don't have to take the trash back out of the dumpster. Just don't do it again. That made me even more irritated, but I took a few deep breaths to calm down. Why can't I throw trash in here? In the public neighborhood dumpsters, funded by my tax dollars, just the same as it's funded by yours? The man had the audacity to scoff and shake his head. I know about your people, sweetheart. Don't lie to us. It finally clicked on what the both of them were insinuating. You piece of absolute shit. Do not pretend to know anything about me or my family whatsoever. Keep in mind that this is at like 10 a.m. on a Monday and the street was not empty. So the few people going about their business had been stunned by the argument, and a neighbor had already called the police about a public disturbance. And boy, did that whole story that me, my family, the crazy bitch, and her husband, and a few neighbors had to recount did not go well for the crazy bitch. Especially when they had to step into the apartment building manager's office to review the security footage, which made it go even worse for her and her husband, because the apartment manager was appalled and didn't say a single word to anyone other than the police until she slipped aside and called the owner of the building. Let's just say that it wasn't my 14 and 7-year-old sisters taking an air-conditioned ride in the back seat of a police vehicle to the station to be charged with threats against a minor and public disturbance. It also wasn't my sisters who got an immediate eviction notice for the breaking of their lease agreement while their wife went off to solidify her criminal record, screaming at police officers. People be crazy nowadays. Ugh, ew. Unfortunately, I knew exactly where this story was going. Unjustified anger of some racists, not believing that they could possibly share the same dumpster with someone of a different origin. This story honestly had me fuming. Imagine being so fragile that discrimination makes you feel good. Racism doesn't even make sense, man. Like, where did we go wrong? In biology, we are all the same species. Quote-unquote races are literally just socially assigned sets of characteristics that change depending on context, i.e. one's location. But in the end, humans are all biologically one species. One, just many variations. Just like other species we share this planet with, like dogs. One species, many variations. You don't see all the labradoodles forming an egotistical alliance to discriminate against the bulldogs, because even they know that would be stupid. How have dogs figured out how to be a unified species, but humans haven't? Our inability to coexist hurts. It hurts. But anyway, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed these 2 entitled people stories. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!